Forecast sponsored by Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick. Heard in a car? Call KNR.
All right, next big thing for us tomorrow is tracking some of the snow through the region. You'll notice the gradual increase in activity as we go through tomorrow morning, and it will be scattered as we go through the course of your Sunday. This isn't going to be snowing at all times of the day, and we're not even talking about a ton in the way of snowfall accumulation. It should stay relatively minimal for us as we wait for this little brief burst of snow to move through. May have a little bit of lake enhancement left headed into tomorrow evening. Outside of that, though, we finally bring an end to the snow chances as we close in on the start of the upcoming work week. Here's what we mean. This is 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Temperatures upper 20s to lower 30s. Already at this point, west of 71, starting to see a few of those snow showers mixing in. Again, things will be widely scattered, so this is not going to be an even kind of disbursement of snow across northeast Ohio. It's really going to be, I think, an opportunity to pick up maybe half of an inch, maybe upwards of an inch if you get a good heavier burst of some of this activity moving through, and a little bit more if you're right up by the lake shore, just because we may have a little bit of lake enhancement through the day tomorrow. But outside of that, it's just going to be a little bit of a battle to really see any kind of major snow event for us as we wrap up the weekend. Then we'll get some drier air in here. Temperatures will cool off back into the lower 20s, and that's how we're going to eventually begin the upcoming work week. As I mentioned, this is where some of the snowfall totals are projected to be, and you'll notice it's not a lot in a lot of communities. If you're right up by the lake shore, terrain helps, certainly. You get a little bit of that lake enhancement, maybe 1 to 2 inches. That would be at most. Then the cooler air starts to settle in for Monday. Daytime highs Monday, only expected mid to upper 20s. We will have that northeasterly wind in place, and that's going to basically help hold those wind chill values into the teens. So it's not going to be a warm day, but at least we can talk about a little bit of sunshine mixing in. We'll have a few clouds around from time to time, but those clouds will really start to thicken up late Monday night headed into early Tuesday. That's all prior to your next system. I think Tuesday starts off relatively quiet. The track of this one has continued to inch a little farther to the north, so it may not necessarily be snow for everybody. The farther north you are, generally the better the opportunity that you could get maybe a quick inch or so as we head into that Tuesday morning commute time. But as quickly as it moves in, it's going to clear out of here for most of us, with the exception potentially of our far eastern counties, as you could get a little lake enhancement on the backside of that system. What's interesting about Tuesday is you're actually going to see temperatures continuing to warm from the teens in the morning to the 30s by evening, and that trend only continues through the overnight headed into early Wednesday, which means with the track of this next system being a little bit farther to the north, we're actually going to be tapping into a better opportunity to see a wintry mix, maybe even some cold rain across the area, and certainly some pretty gusty winds as well. Winds could be gusting upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour with that midweek system, and then you get some lake effect that starts to generate on the back side of it as temperatures come down once again. So no big heat ups for us, especially as we head into this next week. In fact, I think by next weekend, we may have another storm system coming in, and it will also unlock more Arctic air back in the region.